Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store, where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Today I'm playing with Alli, a well-known Legacy Lands master, and we're going to be playing the matchup between Naya Depths and Lands, which should be really interesting. We've done this before, but I was playing on Green-White Depths, but now I'm on the play, and we're going to see how this goes. This is going to be an interesting start because it's going to be 3 games on no sideboard and then 3 games with the sideboard. We have an interesting opener. I mean, we have a turn 2 combo. We have double mocks until stage, and then Dark Depths go off. But I don't think against this sort of deck I want to be doing that. Running into like a Caracas would be pretty tough, or even a Maverick. We do have crop rotation for Wasteland for Maze, but we wouldn't actually have any lands left to crop unless we draw into one. So I'm pretty happy to mulligan, or at least try to mulligan, to either Elvish Reclaimer or Knight. This is a lot better. I like this hand. And I think I'm just going to bottom the swords here. I think it's the weakest card. I also kind of like turn 1 Yav into Green Suns for Dried Arbor to build out our mana instead of playing the turn 1 Reclaimer. That way 1 Wasteland doesn't stop the ability for us to land this turn 2 Sylvan Library, which is really strong. Yav, a little bit interesting because lands typically has a pretty bad mana base, so the Yavimaya could be helping them out. It allows them to do like Wasteland into Exploration, which is pretty awesome. But I think overall, Naya has a pretty nice matchup. Having creatures that are associated with land destruction, like Elvish Reclaimer and Knight, and just the tutorability of them is really strong, and something I'm pretty happy to be on the side of. We can also be pretty aggressive with Sylvan Library, but we do have to look out for Urza's Saga. And there's Saga number 1. Alright. That's pretty good for them because now we don't get to Wasteland and Sylvan Library. But we do get to Sylvan Library, which is nice. So now I hope we don't see Wasteland, because Wasteland hold up Saga token is pretty strong here. Opponent then also gets to get towards probably Pithing Needle on the Saga, which can be pretty brutal. But at least this early start has allowed us to get towards a 3/4 Reclaimer. So I'm going to pay for both of these. I'm going to fetch just up a basic here and play Reclaimer. They have 1 card left. I don't believe it's going to be Crop Rotation. See how they tap their mana. Yes, they're going to do this. I am going to get rid of this right now because I don't want them getting Pithing Needle. But it looks like their last card is Crop Rotation, which is pretty brutal. This start is exactly how lands should try to play out the games. And it's really showing how good it can fight against a deck that's pretty well positioned against it. And Loam. Yikes. I could have blocked there. They could make a token and make this a 3/3. I don't believe they have another way to make a token, so potentially a lost card there. Okay. Put on top but pay for this. And now we can hold up Reclaimer. We can either hold up Reclaimer or play Safekeeper and then Sword. This is a really tough one because even a Wasteland on the Saga means they can just loam it back. And if I want to bog them, I have to do it before they go and get most likely Needle, naming Reclaimer. So this is definitely a tough one. We're also at 9, which is pretty brutal. I think we're just too far behind, unfortunately. But knowing they had crop rotation means the opening wouldn't have worked because they could have cropped for Caracas most likely. But yeah, we need a lot of things to go right here. Now these are 5/5s. Just way too big. No sideboarding, so just going straight back into this. But yeah, definitely a tough one. And I should be, sorry, I should definitely be in this layout. All right, love to play first. And this hand is just a big no, unfortunately. Just the one white source. This is a tough one as well because it isn't really doing what you want to be doing against lands. But I'm not sure if there's a better 5. I would like to think there is. Like the Dark Depths plan just is not that appealing at all. This isn't that great either, but we do have like a turn 1 Reclaimer. And we can put back probably this. Yeah. Wanting to get that extra land into the bin. So that hopefully next turn we can get Reclaimer online as a 3/4. A little bit tough because the Bojuka Bog does come in tapped. But we do have the Mox as well to hopefully line this up okay. Just want to see like Mox Diamond land punishing fire. But yeah, the plan of just Saga Beatdown is really tough to deal with. Especially when you're spending like in the best spot, you're spending Swords to Plowshares on the creatures. Okay. Endurance. I kind of want to play the bog, which is kind of awkward. There is a world where potentially I should have kept the step to have in my hand and have the bog back in the deck, but it feels like a bit of a waste playing the bog here. But I do want to get my flagstones going, so I think we will play the bog. It also means we can untap with endurance, which kind of does the same thing as bog, so not the worst. All right. I can also do some cool things. I can sacrifice the Bajuka Bog for my own land and then endurance them back into the deck if I really want to. For tapping down mana here, I don't need to float it because I can still use 2 mana for Reclaimer, but if I draw into like Sylvan Library, I want to be able to cast it. Okay. I think in that case I might get aggressive, because the crop is most likely just doing the same thing anyway. If they get a Saga here, I'm pretty happy to try to crop into Wasteland to hit this, cropping away the flagstones. If they have double crop, then that's fine. But this is now definitely a spot where the endurance is quite nice if we can keep them off loam for one more turn. But we can't. We can endurance the loam though, which is nice. Maze is quite strong. I think I'd rather attack with the Reclaimer and the Endurance here to get at least 3 damage in. Alli untapping the Endurance so that if I did have something to do with the Reclaimer, I could. I'm not playing the Depths either in case they have their own Thespian stage. I definitely don't want to play the Depths into that. Yeah, Shadow Spear here is really good because it just makes all their creatures so much bigger. And another loam. Yikes. Okay. I think sadly it's just... I guess we can attack with both. Then they can... that's not great either. Yeah, I'm just gonna say GG here. I don't think we have a way out of these Saga tokens, but Alli's gonna concede, so we get a third game before we go to sideboards, which I think has shown how much we need the Force of Vigors in this matchup, especially for the tokens. The mulligans have been pretty rough, but I think there's like a lot of play with how this deck mulligans. Obviously losing 1 or 2 cards is huge, but the deck definitely can function off 5 cards. Yeah, see these 2 landers, 1 landers without a green source is just really brutal. Because otherwise, like, this is a green source, like turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 hold up flagstones. It's a really nice start. But yeah, just crazy value I can't keep up with. It might just be 1 Wasteland here and try to get 2 Knights on the board. At least I can lead with Savannah because we have Crop Up. Alli having a good think. I think Knight is just the best card in the deck, and unfortunately we haven't got to the mana to cast Knight. And that's been the big issue so far. Huh. What are we seeing here? Saga, potentially? Another Boseiju. Ugh. Yep. Definitely taking them off the loam and then just passing with Crop Up. I kind of hope my opponent plays Yavimaya, but I sadly don't see it coming just yet. There is a world end step where I can crop away the Bojuka Bog for Yavimaya. I think I might need to, just because that also makes the Knights a 3/3, so they can't be hit by Punishing Fire. Unless Alli also has Bojuka Bog, or crop into Bojuka Bog. But even then, like, we have Pithing Needle coming down on Knight, which means I probably have to deal with the Saga next turn, which really slows things down. Because I don't believe... I guess we have Outland Liberator, but that's the only way. We don't have main deck Prismatic Endings. No land for them. I think sadly here it's just going to be Wasteland pass. Yeah, they still go for a creature. All right. I am just going to Swords this now. They haven't played a Wasteland, but they could... No. I think just like the thought of them like cropping or playing a Wasteland is just too big that I want to get this Knight into play. And once the Knight's in play, I don't really have to worry about anything else. I do know they play double endurance though. Ah, come on now. So they could like endurance me and then punishing fire the Knight. No great attacks here. Oh, no great blocks, sorry. Oh my gosh. Now it's really tough because I can't play the Knight because the Spell Bomb deals with it. I kind of have to crop into Wasteland. And I think here I want to crop away the Plateau. Maybe not. Maybe it is the Bog. So I can keep double white. And just hope we don't see a Loam next turn. They only have 2 cards though, and we have dealt with one. Knight is also now a 3/3, which is relevant. All right. This is a start. Only 2 mana for my opponent, which is really nice. There is a world where like red mana does like 2 damage and then 2 with fire. So they're getting closer. This is a free attack as well. Yeah. Nice. I can also 20/20 next turn and Knight, because I can play Knight, get Yavimaya, play Depths, and then just make the combo. But I'll do it in their upkeep in case they can like crop into their own stage to copy Depths and then have like a pseudo haste Dark Depths Marit Lage. I just want one game. I just want one game, Alli. Come on. These two first ones have just been brutal. Like, the power of Saga has been insane. Like, just unrelenting. And every turn, I think, nearly every turn has been a new Saga, which is just nuts. I mean, it's why you play 4. That's why you play Loam. Definitely not complaining. I'm just showing the consistency of the deck is phenomenal. And it's definitely a big appeal for lands. We drew 1 Yav. They're going to try to crop now, potentially, into Bojuka Bog. Bog's in the bin, so I can't do anything here. Alli letting the ability to resolve, and now the trigger goes in the stack. And now's a really good time to Wasteland if they have Wasteland. Okay. So now they kind of have to use Crop, potentially, to find Karakas. Or a Mazavith. Mazavith doesn't do it because we have our own Wastelands to find. We know Punishing Fire in hand is one of the 4, and there's 3 unknowns. I believe. I don't think they have a land from Life in the Loam left in hand because they missed a land drop 2 turns ago before they played the Grove. Loam. Sure. Sure. Karakas. Okay. Oh, get back Bojuka Bog. That's pretty cool. I think that's good to turn off the Loam. I could get back a Wasteland and turn off a Saga. Tough one. So the last card in hand is Punishing Fire. I think it just is Bog. Bog them, they untap and draw 1 card. They get to make 3/4/4 constructs, but I don't think that's enough. I think Bog is correct here. Yeah. But I should have, of course, done it post-combat so I don't lose the 2 damage, which is pretty brutal. I definitely should have done that second main. I was thinking about Wasteland. Interesting. So they're punishing fire in 1 card. This is probably a matchup where I don't mind Tower of the Magistrate, to be fair. Alright, so they have 1 card left in Punishing Fire. Reclaimer. Play Wasteland. I can Wasteland myself to make these 7/7s. Yeah, because if we Wasteland the Saga, then they get to finish off the night with a Spell Bomb. But now they can also get Map and Bog me with 1 Saga, and like Pithing Needle on Night the other. So I think unfortunately we just don't get there. They could also get Shadow Spear. I think Shadow Spear is probably the better get. Because I don't think we can raise Shadow Spear and Bogas. Or even like Shadow Spear and re-equip to a blocker. Yikes. Tough. Maybe like not attacking and wastelanding them was better. That's a tough one, because at least like wasteland on Saga is kind of a 2-for-1, because you're not just taking out the Saga they can create, but also the card they can fetch up. They have 1 mana up, so they can't equip Shadow Spear right now. They get Needle. And now I have to chump block both, unfortunately. And then we just, because the Pyrite Spellbomb can deal 2 to me, which is potentially I'm on 5, so I have to double block, untap, and then we don't have a way to deal with these unless we draw like, I don't think there's anything. Swords to Plowshares doesn't do it. Yeah, now they get to map for Bog, potentially. Yeah. Tough. Yeah, Flagstones doesn't do it. Alright. We get a sideboard now, which is nice. Challenge. Naya. But yeah, Saga just incredibly strong in this deck, and really hard for us to deal with. I think a version with potentially main deck prismatic endings would do better than the Once Upon a Times if I am facing up against a deck like this. But yeah, real tough one. They were able to like strangle us on mana and then also produce some pretty big tokens for like multiple turns in a row, which is brutal. But yeah, I like the Forces, I like the Endurances, I like the prismatic endings. Tower of the Magistrate's also pretty interesting as a way to get through. I like cutting out like 2 of the depths, maybe leaving 1 in as like a just in case. But yeah, maybe even going for the Dark Depths there, like it's very much I win or I lose. Because the Caracas is just a really nice way for Alli to interact with Marit Lage, but they have to have the crop, so I think it's correct to like put them in a position where they have to have it. Yeah, that's right. So we'll sideboard first, so that it all matches the sideboard. So let's take out Depths, Safekeeper. I like the Forces, the Endurances, the Endings, and I don't mind the Tower. Did I take them out? The Forces, the Endurances, the Endings, and the Tower. All right. This is actually a tough one. The step, I don't mind dropping a step for the tower. I have to. Did I just, I think I just minimized it in a way that I can't find it. I think I did, yeah. Oh no. Did I just put it down the bottom and I can't actually click on it now? That's really annoying. Oh my gosh. But yeah, let's quickly just have a look at our changes that I'd make. My step in a way that can't cancel it. Oh my gosh. This is classic. Is it me? There it is. Okay, got it. Easy. Libraries are great. Maybe it's the onces, like the fluff of onces. We're also just playing 2 prismatic endings in the sideboard, so just the 2. I think it might be a swords. Just because swords on token isn't that great when we already have like forces as well. And it might just be the depths, to be fair, and maybe the stages are there to stages there to copy their sagas. That's always pretty interesting. Yeah, I think I like that. So that's sideboard. That's sideboard. And then that's sideboard. One sword. Once upon a times. Oh, it's 61, isn't it? This is fine. I will just quickly probably put back in a step just for the Moxen. Yep, and then it's 2 once upon a times in the sideboard. Okay, we got there. Maybe not. Maybe the one once is better than the second step. Just, yeah, okay, there we go. All right, nice. We're in, refreshed. We have some nice sideboard cards. We're gonna have some nice 7s as well. Thank you, MTGO. No. Okay. I think we'll keep this. And we'll bottom potentially just the Avamire. Yeah. Try to like turn on Green Suns for Dried Arbor, turn 2 Library and Waste, or Library and Swords. Probably not relevant, but Library Hold Up crop is pretty nice. Alright. There is a world where Oof is actually relevant because of like Spell Bomb, Shadow Spear, and a few other things. All right. I probably want to hold the Wasteland here. They already have 2 green, so I don't mind playing Yav. Swordsing this. Playing Library. I should have kept the extra swords in over the once because of Elvish Reclaimer. No Force of Vigor on the library is really nice. That's fine. I don't really want the second library, but if this one gets taken care of, I kind of want this one. Kind of weird to pay extra for the library though. I do want to deal with this right now. Oh, actually, I can use the flagstones for green. That's pretty cool. Savannah. Waste. Interesting. Holding up Wasteland and Port. Not even doing anything. What is this? This is tough. I don't have any action and I really need action. They're holding up Endurance. Potentially. No. I don't really want to waste the wasteland. I want to keep that for a saga if we see it. Ugh, I guess that is something. Again, I don't want to drive this Dried Arbor into a endurance. I don't mind trying to hit Wasteland on Taker here to take them off red, and then hit the Spellbomb and Exploration. But then we don't have an answer for Saga. Thank you. Huh. Weird game so far. I don't mind. I think I just pass here. The Wasteland on Taker doesn't do a whole lot because of our own Yavimaya. I kind of have to wait for us to untap with with the ability to sack this. Doing this now so they can't copy something. And I'm doing this now as well to get a fresh look at library. I think it's just going to be Wasteland. Try to take them off colored mana. I'm gonna hit that Taiga. They most likely crop in response. Smart. Can use my mana. Play the Taiga to essentially look like I'm holding up crop rotation. Their own Yav is really good because it turns on their mana. Put on top, put on top. I like Green Suns for 3 here to see what they do in response, if they do anything. It could be Knight, it could be Reminat. So a tough one. Alli having a good think. Pretty happy to try to hit the Yav here. Just to really try to restrict their mana. We did Green Sun, so there's no longer that prismatic ending on top. I'm just gonna get a fetch land here, I think. I'm not sure what I want just yet. I'll get back Wasteland, which means I can attack with the Knight, because even if they bog me, I can put the fetch and Wasteland into the bin. They could trade, they could like put the Endurance in front and then go for bog. So they should obviously allow damage to go through first. I'm going to allow this to happen because I don't want to lose the Wasteland as well to the Bojuka Bog. Because like they're at 19 life, so the only reason they would block with Endurance and let it happen is because they have Crop into Bog. It can't be Punishing Fire because we have the Fetch land to save it from Punishing Fire. It has to be Crop into Bog. Or a second Endurance. But that's not too bad. Hey Ren, thanks for the follow. While I record this, very nice. Yes. Shadow Spear is fine. They have one card left. I don't mind getting Dried Arbor here. And then getting aggressive. Start with Wasteland on Port. And then whatever they tap down we can float green for. And then get back Wasteland. Play Reclaimer. I don't mind Wasteland again on Port. We also have like Bojuka Bog open now. Oh, they're going to go for a Forest potentially into Crop. Okay. Not too bad. They now have 0 cards. Get to go and get a Wasteland. Untap. Hit this one. Sure. Get back Wasteland. Attacks. Yeah, and then I think the second main is float green, crop into stage, copy Urza's Saga, and then Wasteland Saga. We're on the board, people. We're on the board. We're on the board. The only change that I will make that I think we should have made from the start was just an extra swords because of our Elvish Reclaimer. But that's the only thing. All right, come on, 7. This is a fine 7. I'm pretty happy to keep this. Yeah. The force is pretty huge, especially if they go like Saga into Mox, or like Saga and Exploration. Alli goes to 6. Seiju pass. Okay. Interesting. I don't mind Windswept pass. I don't want to play the Reclaimer out too early on. But there is also a world here because I don't want to play this until it's a 3/4 to play around Punishing Fire. So I kind of want to go fetch land pass, untap, find a fetch land, and then Mox Diamond, pitch a land is 3 lands in the bin. Or I could Green Suns here for Dryad Arbor, and then if the Dryad Arbor gets done, that's 1, 2, and then 3 as well. So I kind of like using the Green Suns here to ramp. And just going to get a Forest. This also puts me closer to just hardcast Force of Vigor, which would be optimal. Should have used the Forest to pay for it, because then I could attack as well. Sure. One small thing there is, like, if I played the Mox last turn, then I could untap and just use 4 mana to force this. I don't want to play the Cradle or the Yav here. Wasteland's not too bad here, because the Dryad Arbor is just kind of paying for itself anyway. This actually works out nicely because I'm not going to pay for the Dryad Arbor, which turns into a 3/4. So a land here would actually be quite nice. We don't hit the land, unfortunately. They could waste the maze here, but they don't. I guess they need the mana to make it. I am going to trade here. As bad as it could be in the face of a crop. See how they pay for it first. Like this. Not a great trade if they have the crop. But Saga is just so good. I feel it coming. They let it go. Double waste. I think I just want to turn this maze into a flagstones. There's a world where Wasteland and Besage is really good, but I feel like they didn't crop there because they didn't want to tap off crop for this one. They could like crop into Yav and then Endurance, but pretty happy with where we are. They could also go for like an end step crop. No. Not too bad as we have the prismatic. Okay. Happy to attack first. Blast Zone would be pretty good here as well. For them, that is. Maze. Okay. Green, green, 1. Green. This feels like Blast Zone, which is why I didn't want to play the Reclaimer first. Yeah. Interesting to allowing me to float the mana here. Oh, they got rid of the tab. Okay. That makes sense. Ooh. This is really nice if it flips. I will attack, make the maze. There was a slight downside of like playing that out with no targets, which is removal, but I think that's okay. Okay. I think Thespian Stage will just copy Wasteland here potentially, or I just use 2 mana to trade Flagstones away for a Savannah and a Wasteland. I don't mind that. I'm going to try to copy a Wasteland. It's pretty good. They most likely have Crop here, seeing that they didn't, but I might as well try to go after it. Even if they have Endurance, we have the Swords to Plowshares, which is nice. Wow. Didn't expect that. Sylvan Library at 21 life is really nice. been a really weird game. Once we got rid of the exploration, even then, the start was pretty slow. It was besiege you into Tabernacle and control us for a little while. Needle. Probably just naming Reclaimer here. I just wanted to get another white source in case I needed to hold up swords here for Reclaimer. But I assume they're naming Reclaimer anyway, so maybe the play is just to keep the fetch land there. Especially for library, if I just see lands on top, I don't really want to pay life for them. I'd rather just shuffle them away. Yeah. So I think probably overall that's an incorrect play to fetch there. Oh, hello. I like all of this. It's an interesting one because they have Wasteland. So if they have Crop into Thespian stage, then none of these matter because if we Wasteland the Dark Depths, they then Crop into Thespian stage. If we do nothing, they either tap it down or Wasteland it and then Crop into Thespian stage. Same with Maze, but I think Wasteland's just like the best card in a way. I will attack here as well. If they Wasteland, we know that they're going to be doing something. No. Huh. Okay. Nothing end step either. Tough. Really weird game. It's 12 turns of just like... I can't even remember the turns. Oh. Yes, but I will concede. So we get this last one in. All right. 2-3. Okay. I think this is okay. Basic Sylvan Library, and then Endurance if we really need it. Definitely a kill on sight. Easy. Alli is just taking a break. Strong position. So we get to untap. We have the third land for Night, which is really good. We have double endurance if we really need to hold up endurance as well. I don't mind deploying Night straight away, and then just having endurance in hand if it's needed. Because I think then we can kind of play a more instant speed game where we're probably doing most of our work at the end of Alli's turn. one big thing that I always kind of stumble on is Endurance kind of has two roles. To put Life in the Loam back into their deck and to stop that engine, or to target the lands that Life in the Loam hits and try to grind out the game that way, where you might be taking your opponent off the lands they need to stay in the game with what you have on board. But it's always really tough with trying to like kind of get to a position where you know which one's correct. Happy to pay for this. And then this is interesting. I can either play the Windswept Heath and shuffle to get rid of the step, or play the Flagstones, which can't really be wastelanded. Because they probably have to play a land next turn, I don't mind just going for Windswept Heath into Savannah, into Night. Which turns on Wasteland, which is really nice. So one card I don't want to see here is Mox, because then they can make the Saga and also hold up crop rotation. Alright. Spell Bomb is fine. Okay. Now I'm happy we shuffled because I really want to find a Force of Vigor. Nice. I don't mind paying for this, but we're not going to shuffle, are we? I think we are going to use the Knight. Such an ominous sign, like 4 mana and a Knight. They don't make the token. That's really interesting. I think this is fine because we have the Force of Vigor, that I'm happy to see what they do here. This is fine. We can also second main, Force of Vigor the Needle and the Mox, and then end step they won't have the floating mana. Or we could do it in combat as well. Yeah, I don't mind doing it here. They're going to float white and draw a card, sure. And I still think I'm happy to wasteland them off the Grove. Just to really put them down on resource. Put on top. Put on top. I think now I just want to get aggressive. I could use a Prismatic Ending, but I think I'm happy just attacking and passing with Endurance open. Yeah, now we're in a great spot, especially because we have double endurance as well. One for the lands and then one for the loam. One for the homies all sitting at home. Port's okay. It's gonna get pro green, so they can't like block it with endurance. Yeah, tough one. Really tough. So we fight back to 3-3, which is pretty nice, and I think a pretty like good showing of the matchup being pretty 50-50. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you would change things with how you sideboarded, or yeah, how you think the matchup is. If you think this kind of Saga version of Alli's that isn't playing things like Valakut Exploration is a little bit stronger against Depths. And of course, if you like the content, definitely consider liking the video, subscribing, and showing your support. So a huge thank you. We'll see you next time. Cheers.